Well, it's a time to a podcast.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Oh my god! All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Unpaid Nobodies, episode 2. Not at all. Like in no way it's episode 2, but I guess it's kind of episode 2.
Explain.
Just because like we did our big launch last week, so like,
I
although
guess
like
that's
I
fair.
gotta say, like looking at the analytics, I am disappointed by like how many people like found the podcast and like went to the beginning. And it's like, no. Start with the new stuff. Start with the good stuff. Like it's better now. Like
It gets better, I promise.
yeah. And like you want them to see that arc, but like they're gonna keep seeing that arc because we're still gonna get better, so it's fine. Like
Oh, yeah, it's all coming together. I was actually like, I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty hype. I
yeah.
didn't realize like it was gonna grow so quickly, and like I just added a whole bunch of people, and everyone's been super cool about it. I've talked about it with a surprising amount of friends. Like I haven't talked to in a minute, so it
Yeah.
was like one of the best films.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's fun finally getting the feedback back. Like hearing how people are responding to it. So that's been great, and we're here to keep it going. But this week, this week's a bit of a hunky doodle, like a bit of a puzzle we gotta figure out because I have probably the biggest event of my life this Saturday.
Right?
Yeah. So this is gonna be a real light episode. We've been doing a lot of 2 hour album
That'll happen.
breakdowns, like citing philosophers and like
We just went through a very historical month for music.
yeah, we just
So
went through a very dense couple of episodes. So we're keeping it light today. Keeping it light. We're like some Hawaiian salad on a sunny day.
why is salad? Bro.
All right. Do you want to start off with the news?
Yes, we'll get started for the news. It's like I don't know. It honestly feels like a fresh start because I feel like we haven't done a true like news section in
Yeah.
like a couple of episodes.
Yeah. It's been like 3-4 weeks.
Well, like I said,
Yeah.
it'll
Because like
happen
I don't think
when
we did one for
people get
Damn
stuff
either
to
because we
drop.
just wanted to focus on that album.
Yeah, that's what
Eh,
I'm saying. Like it's actually been some weeks, but
yeah.
what we'll start off with is just I'll start off with the albums. I feel like this is a big one, but Post Malone is back and it's going to be called 12 Karat Toothache.
It's a very
And
Post
then we
Malone
have
album
another
title.
album. What's up?
It's a very Post Malone album title.
Yes, it is. And then we have Vori with an album called Lost Souls.
Okay.
Um, I am very excited for the Post Malone. I don't even know how long it's been. Like it feels like it's been forever.
It's been like 3 years.
Jesus
Yeah, I
Christ.
remember the last one. That was Hollywood Bleeding, right?
I think so. Let me check right now.
The one where he was wearing like the leather jacket. I don't know. I've overall been unimpressed by Post Malone.
Okay.
Probably because of like the rug pull of White Iverson. Because like White
Mhm.
Iverson's incredible. That song's great. One of my
It is.
one of my favorite songs. Like played it all the time in college, like to an obnoxious degree, because of course I did. Uh and then that album that it was on came out, and boy, that was awful. I really think that was like one of the worst albums like I've
Is that
listened
the
to.
Stony one?
Yeah, Stony.
You don't like Stony at all?
Dude, I did not. There's like maybe one other song I like on that album.
I'm gonna shoot you some titles because, like, I'm sure you don't remember all the titles.
I
So
I
I want to
actually
like,
I feel like for an album that I didn't like, I remember Stony a lot better because I hated it so much.
really? Okay,
Yes.
interesting. I was literally just gonna shoot you some titles and be like, do you even recognize the song?
Yeah, send it to me.
Okay. How about Code? You
Boring.
recognize the title
Yep,
Code? Okay.
boring.
I Fall Apart.
Yeah, I thought that was like that was like, how do I put this? Like the guys who were playing acoustic guitar, like in the common areas at Columbia College when this came out. It was like, oh man, it's like listening to that but worse.
It's not that bad, Jesus
Dude,
Christ.
I did not.
You just painted a whole picture. I feel like you were just around the wrong people when it came out.
No.
Okay, how about
I've
Congratulations? That's like the biggest one.
God, not a huge fan. Not a huge fan.
Really?
Dude, I graduated 6 months after this song. That song came out. Do you have
Okay, so
any
you're
idea
just
how aggressive that song is in my face? There is one
you
other
are
song on that album I do like, and it's Too Young.
okay. Yeah, that was another one I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Okay,
Too Young.
perfect.
Too Young is the other one. Go Flex is fine. Like, it doesn't make me angry, but like, I Fall Apart, Congratulations, Broken Whiskey Glass, Hit This Hard, Feeling Whitney, all those songs, like, I have like visceral reactions to. I thought they were so bad.
Just feel like it came out at a bad time for you.
No,
I
because
like this album.
no, it came out in 2016. It came out like, if anything, like it probably came out like nestled in with like a whole lot of classics. Because I think
Okay,
this came
that
out.
is also
Yeah,
fair.
this came out the same within 2 weeks of both Starboy and Run the Jewels 3.
Okay, you've said
and
enough.
and
Yeah.
Awaken My Love. But
So
also, like, this isn't like a case of like, oh, this is a forgotten thing. I hate this shit.
you did not forget about it.
I
You
did
just
not
fell
forget
in
about it. I
love.
actively hated it so much. And then what was the one that had
Wow.
Deja Vu? Oh my god. I was like, every time I hear that song, I want to pull clumps of hair out.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a step back.
Yeah.
I'm basically just gonna take it as like you don't like Post Malone.
Well, I'll say this though. Every album since I've liked more.
Really?
Yeah, so Beer Bongs and Bentleys I thought was like unimpressive, but not like egregiously bad.
Okay.
And I like that Rockstar song.
Okay.
And then Hollywood Bleeding I thought was like maybe ever so slightly on the side of good, on the good side of average. You know,
I'm
so I
going
do
to.
think like he's trending in a positive direction, which is
It's
interesting.
hard for me to say because like I'm taking a look. I do have more songs saved, but I don't remember this album at all. I don't remember a single song
Off Beer
from
Bongs and
Hollywood
Bentleys,
Bleeding.
that was
No,
like one of
no,
the first.
Hollywood's Bleeding.
Hollywood's Bleeding, yeah, that one like Beer Bongs and Bentleys is the one I remember the most.
Okay. Because like you
Or I
said, the
think the one I
Rockstar
liked the most.
song.
This one, the only one I really liked was I like Take What You Want, the one that had
Travis Scott.
Ozzy Osbourne and Travis Scott on it. Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
I credit that as maybe the first good Travis Scott feature.
Whoa. Yeah, I'm going back to this album.
Yeah,
Because I don't remember none of this. I honestly, obviously, Sunflower because
the Spider-Man movie, which is an incredible song to be
Spider-Man
fair.
movie. But like, oh, of course, yeah, yeah, absolutely. But
I
I
also
can't really remember that many songs from there.
I also did like Die for Me. I know I'm not like the biggest fan of Future or Halsey, but or
Mhm.
Post Malone for that matter. but
Anyone on
like,
this?
but like I thought it kind of is like a pop song version of like a very overdone soap opera. And that's fun. I like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So like yeah,
Well, I guess
that's that's the thing. Like I'm like, okay, is this gonna be continuing the very slow march towards a good album?
okay.
Or is it gonna be somewhere on the line between an album I hate so much I remember and
That's tough. That is tough.
yeah. That is legit, yeah, it is not good.
Do you hate it more than you know what I'm gonna say?
You
Do you hate
got
it more than Nav?
huh?
Do you hate it more than Nav?
Nav?
Yeah.
Uh I think it's like legitimately artistically vapid in a way Nav is it. And like there's also like a level of cultural appropriation that is kind of icky
Okay.
on Stony that you don't have on Nav. Not that you couldn't, but I just don't get that vibe from Nav.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, no. Like in all seriousness, like if I had to listen to a Nav project or Stony, I would probably pick a Nav project. Almost certainly. Now that I say it out loud.
I love that.
Yeah. No, yeah. To be honest, because like Nav is boring. This is like so bad it's not boring.
I've never heard you this upset about the album in my
Yeah.
life.
That's
I just
that.
learned something new.
Yeah.
So you don't even care about tonight. You don't even care that it's dropping.
I didn't even realize it was until about 2 minutes into the podcast. I gotta be honest.
That is tough.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not mad at you.
yeah.
I get it.
Look, I'll probably listen to it just because like I have liked his stuff more and more as it's gone on. Uh, but yeah,
I mean,
especially
it could be like
if I
Calvin
hear
Weird.
it's good, I'll be like, oh okay, then I should
Go
listen to
listen
it.
to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Ugh. Now tell me about this Vori album. What do you know?
I know he's an upcoming artist. I believe he's more on the R&B side. I've heard some of his songs, and when I say some, that very loosely. Um, he's coming out with the album. What stuck out to me was the fact that Kanye West was featured. Nav was featured, and Young Blue, another upcoming artist. So all those names kind of stuck out to me, and I was like, I feel like this is something that might be one of those sleepers. So like, you might need a change. It might be like just exactly what you need in the moment.
Yeah. Okay, that could be. I'm gonna wait for you. If you tell me that album's worth my time, I'll give it a listen.
I mean, I'm looking at the track list. It's about 17 songs.
Oof,
So yeah, I'm hoping shorter songs,
that
just
is.
so I can kind of like get the vibe and then move on. And then we have the music videos. We've actually had quite
Yeah,
a
we're
few
having
music.
quite a lot.
Did you recognize the first name I put there?
T. Tanner Leon, no.
So that's someone new who is signed to PG Lang.
So I did
The
see this kind of like floating around a little bit. This
yeah,
is a. Is this the first artist that we know of that signed to PG Lang? That isn't
it's,
obviously
it's tough.
Mr. Lamar.
I feel like I've seen one name, but I don't recall what it was. There was a name that I was looking into when they dropped the collab with Converse, the shoes with Converse. And there was another artist's name that was attached to that project.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that one,
Is
but I don't remember.
Baby Keem on PG
I'm
Lang?
assuming so.
Like it
I
seems.
feel like yes.
Yeah.
I don't remember him saying he signed to TDE, and given that, there's no one else that I would think he would be signed to.
I'm gonna
It's like the
investigate that.
obvious answer is TDE.
No. Okay, and then we have Kevin Abstract and Easy Life.
Did you watch this one? I think it's out.
It is out, and I listened to the song once, and it's fun. It's like a fun summery out song.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't gone back to it just because like this week has been a whirlwind. Uh,
Yeah, understandable. I
uh,
did have one question for you
what's up?
because when I found out about this, I think it was on. I want to say it was on Instagram, and I sent it to you on Instagram.
Yep.
Um, I thought that this was supposed to be the start of whatever this new era that they're going into. Even though the band is no longer existent, they said there's one more project coming out. I thought this was going to be related to that.
Yeah.
Given that it's not, I didn't feel comfortable Kevin Abstract using that platform to promote his own music. Personally.
You know, I don't hate you for saying that, right? What I will say is he has definitely done that before.
Okay.
Like
This is true.
that has been like as long as I've known Brockhampton, I've known that they've been using their official platforms to platform any of Kevin's music, any of like even some people who aren't even in Brockhampton, like Dominic Fick, the guy who does the hook on Sugar and Sierra Nights, I forget his name. Uh, so yeah, it's like I get that. Like I get like why you would feel that way. I just to me it just seems like consistent with what it's going to be the whole time. And correct me if I'm wrong. I think I saw Merlin promoting his music on the Brockhampton.
So that's why it stood out to me because I remember specifically when I saw Merlin's new whatever he was doing, whatever he was promoting, it was on his personal page. It actually was not on the broadcast. And that was one thing that like I remembered that detail very specifically for some reason.
Yeah.
And now that I see that Kevin Abstract was doing it, it was just a thought that popped in my head where I was like, that's interesting.
I could
That
have
like the leader gets to make the call or whatever.
I could have sworn I saw it on. I could have sworn he posted it on both his own personal and the Brockhampton one, because I think I remember seeing like I have a succinct memory of like going down my Instagram timeline and seeing that image from Merlin, like
The one where he's on the couch, right?
yeah, like seeing it twice.
Because the reason I'm saying that again is because I'm looking at the page. I don't see it.
Yeah, I'm about to check it right
Like
now
any of the Brockhampton's
because
recent stuff.
I could be tripping.
I mean, they do post a lot. So
Yeah, yeah. No, I don't see it here. So I could have been tripping. I could have seen something else. It could have been one of the
it
other
could have been something
members.
else promoting him. Yeah, I was about to say something else promoting him anyway.
Yeah,
But I don't know. It's not the biggest deal, obviously.
yeah.
But it was just something I was like, it left a bad taste in my mouth, and I was wondering if you picked up on the same kind of.
You know, it didn't personally, but I see why it did for you. Like, I get that.
Just hope that they didn't in a negative sense, and we just don't know, because that would really suck.
Yeah, that would really suck. But like, I don't know. That does seem out of character for Kevin, in my opinion, and for my parasocial, like, like. All right,
Oh yeah, well,
let's move
moving
on.
on.
We got a
Did
video
you?
dropping for Horse.
He said, "All right, bro." Megan the Stallion.
Yeah, she's dropping the video
Plan B.
for Plan B.
Did you see the trailer? It looks really dope.
Yeah, it does
Like
look really
that
good.
blacked out theme
It looks
is
very classic
pretty cool.
'90s.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was actually really cool to see.
yeah, and
I'm
this
excited to see that.
I like how because I feel like that song is kind of like a throwback. Like that song feels very like classic '90s kind of vibe.
Mhm.
So like seeing
Yeah.
the video go down the same road, I thought that was cool.
I sometimes I just like, and maybe this is just like overthinking it, but I really like dig very deeply into lyrics. If like I just like the beat of the song, I kind of just more focus on that. But like I sat down and I listened to the trailer. I forget she is so talented as an artist. Like the lyrics are amazing.
She has bars. Yeah, no,
Like
she
they
is
are
not.
hard.
Yeah, she is not a slump when it comes to just like putting down bars. You know, that's always been the thing for the big it girl in hip hop is that you know maybe they were well connected like Nicki Minaj and talented. You know, maybe they were very charismatic like Cardi B, but like this is the first time where it's like, I mean, real talk. Name someone who came out in the last few years like Megan who can keep up with her like lyrically. Like I'm sure there's plenty
Absolutely
of
not.
people who can, but are they
Big
performing
names
at
right
that?
now?
Are they performing at that level? Are they anywhere near big names? Like,
Right.
you know, she's legitimately one of the better rappers.
And it just goes past her music, just like
No,
the music videos, the award, like everything.
yeah,
All the brand deals. It's
she she
crazy.
she's it's her world right now.
Jesus Christ.
All right, Purvis,
Yes, sir.
who is Polo G?
Who is Polo G?
Yeah,
I can't tell if like you're being super serious or you're just like
I mean, I know he's a rapper.
so I can tell that you do not listen to Polo G then.
I don't listen to Polo
Like
G,
at
but
all.
like pitch me on Polo G.
I know I'm not the correct person to pitch on Polo G because I know that he is a huge name, but I don't think I've ever sat down and said I'm gonna listen to Polo G. I have gone and listened to the albums. I've done my due diligence. I don't think he's bad. He's just not my style.
Yeah.
But he is releasing some new music, and I know he is huge in the game right now, even if I don't listen to him. And it's coming with a music video.
All right. Well,
The song is called Distraction.
all right. I'll have to. He's escaped my gaze.
So you can't recall any songs from there.
No, I'm sure. I'm sure there's a song I've listened to that has him on it.
Oh,
Absolutely.
100%. I know there is, but
It's
I
impossible.
just can't really point them out.
Yeah, but like I don't know, man. I've never I've never been like, what should I put on today? Polo G, per se.
No, it's true.
I'm
It's
looking
very
right now to see if there is anyone I know.
I'm talking about like features.
Yeah, like any like features I know or anything, but I'm like 30 tracks down. I don't see any. Yeah, no, this is yeah, I don't know who this man is. I'm sorry, Polo G fans. Like,
I am dying right now.
like sorry about this. Sorry to let everyone down. Uh to my
All I can
children
think about right now is
listening
that
to
video of
this.
like,
I'm sorry I didn't recognize the greatness of the 52nd President of the United States, Polo G. Uh,
oh my god. I'm literally sitting here thinking of the video of Kiki Palmer, just like I do not know this man. Like that's what I feel like you're sitting there, just like I really don't know anything that's going on here.
yeah. Okay, but one of your favorite biracial men is
My
dropping.
past, it's gone now. He killed it.
So
But
Logic is threatening new music once again.
threatening is the right term. He used to be one of my favorites, but
He
not
used to be a
anymore.
huge Logic fan.
I bought a hoodie, dude. I have a Logic hoodie. That's how
You
big
at
of a
one
fan I
point
was.
tried to tell me he was a better artist than Kanye.
I did not do that at all.
Yeah, you said he was a better rapper than Jay-Z. Uh,
I don't even talk about JC. Like,
you said
no, no, no.
he was
He
realer than Tupac. Like,
no, the Under Pressure album was really good.
under
I think
pressure's fine.
I I will go as far as to say Under Pressure for me is a classic. That is all. But the rest is trash. Not trash, but nowhere near the same quality.
Yeah.
Um I think he should have retired on the second time that he retired, but that's none of my business.
Yeah, once you retire a second time, I don't believe you. You know, retire once, shame on you. Retire twice, shame on me.
You fool, you can't get fooled again or something like that.
Yeah.
One of those
Fool me
lines.
once, never fooled again. Thanks, President Bush.
What an idiot. Anyway,
That's a Goose song. Never get fooled again. All right. Who
but
is Rowdy Rebel? Who are these people you're putting on our queue?
bro, I'm dying at my desk right now. Okay, so another up and coming person. I'm not even gonna try to talk you into this one after the response I got from Polo G. I'm not even gonna try and get into this one. He's just new and upcoming, and he's just putting out a song.
Yeah.
If you see the title, is called Woo Nina.
Okay.
So, given that Wu is in it, you could kind of get a sense that he is, I believe, from New York.
Yeah,
I've been wrong before.
He's he is or wants to be affiliated with Pop Smoke.
Something along those lines.
Yeah. Dude,
Brooklyn.
the amount of people yeah, the amount of people I see around downtown wearing like Woo shirts, it's like what? It's like the drill here is very different. Like
extremely different.
yeah, and Polo G is a drill rapper too. I think I found the common thread. Like
there we go. Well, now it makes sense why you don't recognize these people.
yeah. Well, I wasn't a huge Pop Smoke fan either. I mean, like I thought he was good. I thought Pop Smoke would have been incredible had he been able to not taken from us.
Yep.
Yeah.
I also agree. I guess the last one we can cover is Mr. Denzel Curry. You're a big fan.
I am a big fan of Denzel Curry. Don't know who Key Glock is, but
come on, bro. And that's another one.
Yeah, don't know who that is.
Okay, well,
and who is this one? Gucci Mane?
Gucci Mane?
No,
he's supposed to be rumored that he's coming out with something.
Oh, that'd be great. Oh, but for everyone who can't see our thing, Denzel Curry is dropping a remix of "Walking," which is one of the best songs on his album.
It is one of the best songs. That's why I was actually kind of excited.
Yeah, no, the remix I will be listening to 100%.
I would recommend spending a little bit of time listening to Key Lock, figuring out who he is.
Okay.
Just a little bit. Honestly, you don't need to spend a lot.
Honestly, like having a feature with Denzel is gonna just
enough.
yeah, that's enough.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Ooh,
No
Ambition for
argument there.
Cash. Okay, I'll listen to that. That sounds good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Uh,
Um, I was gonna say in terms of like news, it wasn't a lot. There was one thing that stood out to me that
yeah.
I didn't quite understand and was wondering if you might have a little bit
Insight.
more knowledge than I.
Oh,
But
about basketball?
no, not the basketball part, bruh. No, that is fully me. I did not expect you to be the one to understand basketball in the group or in the friendship. Um, Jaylen Brown is signing to Donna Sports. Of course, Donna Sports is in relation to Kanye West. That was the part I was wondering if you knew anything about.
I was
What is
unaware
Donna Sports?
that the Donda brand. First off, I was unaware that it was like a Donda brand that he was going to be expanding to other things.
Mm-hmm.
And no, I had no idea what this is. I mean, it appears to be some kind of like representation company, but it's just like it's just another case of the what are you doing, Kanye? It's like what's going on? Like, not that I have like any issue with him, like being in the sports space. If anything, like it seems like a natural, like place for
Correction.
him to go. Yeah, natural progression, for sure. So like I'm not against it by any shape, way, or form, but to say I understand it would be wrong.
It is now that you say that, like I was sitting here thinking what other musicians are actually affiliated with sports, like deeply affiliated to the point where you could be signing athletes and promoting them like you're Nike or something.
Yeah.
I'm blanking out, of course, outside of basketball as well, but like I just don't know an actual artist that is in. I mean, J. Cole is the only one I could think of because he like is actually playing professional basketball overseas.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know of any that are tied to that have any huge direct ties to sports. Um, I know at some point, like I think Two Chains played college basketball.
Yeah, Quavo too. Yeah, college
Yeah.
football.
So like,
About college
I
football.
it is an interesting connection, right? Because like sports and arts are considered like opposites.
Okay.
And like it is interesting like how in this case like they seem to collide and commingle so well.
I mean, culturally, they like are hand in hand, basically.
Yeah, I mean some people would like are you familiar with the idea of like the four pillars of hip hop? Like it's like MC, DJ, breakdancing and graffiti.
All right, we're gonna have to break this down.
Yeah. It
Okay,
was just
what's going
something
on?
I
What are
remember
the four
hearing like from
pillars of hip hop?
like the old like it was like from a hip hop documentary. They talked about like the four pillars of hip hop.
Okay,
And it was those
I'm looking
ones.
this up, by the way.
Yeah. And the uh the whole thing about it was there was a debate like, oh, is basketball one of the four pillars of hip hop?
Okay,
Street ball specifically.
I
And
can see that.
and it's just, I don't really I didn't know much, I didn't retain much. But all I was getting at was like, yeah, like I've seen people debate that, basketball is as close to hip hop as graffiti and even MCing is.
I could definitely see that. Um, I immediately looked this up because I haven't heard of this before. This is actually so dope. Like looking into the history, and I can when you search it on Google, it automatically populates other searches that are similar.
Yeah.
And it said, "What are the five pillars of hip hop?" And the fifth one was historical knowledge of the movement. So you might be able to fit sports under that category if you kind of like twist
Yeah.
it around.
Yeah.
But I could definitely see the correlation there.
Yeah. But it's interesting. It is interesting to see how these two things intersect because it's not like it's not like there's any connection between like rock music and any sport. And you can maybe argue that there is a very tenuous connection between country and NASCAR, maybe, but not.
I can see. Yeah.
But like, it's
No,
nowhere.
that's good.
I don't think it's anywhere near as strong as the connection
Oh,
between
no.
hip hop and basketball.
You're right. The only other thing I could think of is like old American. Oh, what's the name? I can't think of the right name, but like American folklore or something like that.
Oh, like American folk music?
Right. Where that can kind of align with, I was going to say the American sport, baseball, but I don't know how.
Not even. Like, it's like it's like an interesting, like, cross-culture thing, right? Because, and my theory right now, having talked about it for 3 minutes, is the reason why is because basketball was created and thrived in the same physical spaces as hip hop. Whereas when you look at other genres of music, that's not there isn't the same overlap, right? Like, for example, football is really big in like Texas and the Midwest, but country music has more roots in like Nashville and the South and more of places like that. So there's not going to be that same connection, the same way that like basketball and hip hop both flourished in the inner city, specifically the inner city of New York. You know, so I think that's probably why. I just think like they both exploded out of the same place at the same time.
It's just naturally it's going to be intertwined.
And like, let's be honest, like it's the same people. Like it's the same.
That is also very true.
Yeah, like, you know. So it is interesting. I think the intersection between art and sport is fascinating.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah. But yeah, I have no idea what this is. Going 3 for 3 here. I don't know who Jaylen Brown is. I know he's a basketball player.
Okay, that's just a basketball player. It's a basketball player.
No, I knew that much.
He's literally playing right now.
I didn't know if it was the Celtics or another team.
It is the Celtics.
I knew it was green.
I'll give you this. To be fair, you compared to like a year ago, your basketball knowledge is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's growing fast, but it's not to the point where it includes Jaylen Brown yet.
I mean, to be fair, you owning 2K is a big step.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'm probably going to have to get 2K this year.
I'm getting 2K every year until it stops existing because I just need a basketball game. I'm sorry. I need a basketball game.
I mean, I play 2K pretty regularly, but it's just, I didn't see the need to upgrade. Because the first one I bought was not last year, but the year before, with my PS5. And when the follow-up to that game came out, I was just like, nah, I don't need it. But now it's like, yeah, 2 years, kind of.
Yep.
Yeah. Ooh, are you going to get the new Call of Duty?
I am most definitely going to get the new Call of Duty.
Dude, I'm so excited.
Yeah, this is a big one.
Yeah.
I mean, we say this every year, and then most years are disappointed.
I did not. Last year, I didn't even buy it.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
You are one of the very smart and strong few.
Yeah. So I was like, Halo's coming out. Like, what? Like.
And we saw how that turned out.
And yeah.
That fell off.
Really? I'm still playing Halo.
Well, I would say in terms of community, like the response that they got out of Halo is fairly negative, just because it came out not unpolished. I won't say that. It is polished. It's unfinished. As in, when I say that, like it is polished, all the details are there, all the little minor things are correct.
Yeah.
I will say it's unfinished because it came out with like a few maps, and that's it. Like 3 game modes.
Yeah.
It was bound to fall off. Now the esports doesn't even exist for it anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I fucking enjoyed that game because I felt like everything. I agree that, like, yeah, it was launched with like almost nothing, which is not good.
Very bare.
But
compared to the previous projects.
Yes, but there is one massive difference that I feel like you're not considering.
Okay.
And that is the multiplayer for Halo Infinite is free. Once you go to that, when you go to that model, I feel like, the expectation of having like all the same maps that you would for a game that you need to pay $60 to get like even into the lobby, I feel like that's fair. Especially if they're as high quality as the ones that are in Halo.
I won't disagree with that at all, but I will ask you this. Would you rather pay $60 for a good game? Or would you rather have, like, I won't say good game, because that implies that it's not good.
Yeah.
Would you rather pay $60 for a full, complete Halo launch, or just have what you have now?
I would definitely pay $60 for the full Halo launch, because I ended up paying $60 for the campaign.
Exactly. So
yeah.
That's
so like
that's the mindset of the community.
Sure, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I do feel like you have to take that into account, right? Like, to a certain point, I don't think that actually matters. I feel like what matters is like, what are the economics of it? What are they delivering? You know, and look, the reason why the game was incomplete was so that they could drip it out over time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, get people to spend as many microtransactions. I'm under no illusions of that. But
yeah, that's the business plan now, micro.
And like the other thing is that like I'll compare it to Black Ops, the Call of Duty I bought the year before. And like I liked Black Ops too. I liked Black Ops probably just as much, if not more. And Black Ops released like 2 more maps and they were worse and everyone loved that game. So like to me it seems like projecting. It really does.
Okay. Well, I won't push any further considering that this is a hip hop podcast.
Halo is the 6th pillar of hip hop.
Probably not with anything. They let anybody make a podcast. That's crazy.
Dude, you don't need a license to make a podcast. We could be out here saying like, yeah, did you know that like all dogs are boys and all cats are girls, and that's true.
And like, somebody will listen to it.
Someone will see that. Yeah, don't cut that out for context, fucking bastards. You know, and it's like, ugh. All right, so this week, because I have a wedding, we decided we're going to keep it real light. So we just wanted to basically just do high level, like we're calling it flashcards, like just going through the artists from Chicago. Because we thought, me and Purvis talked, and we were like, oh, like let's do something as easy as possible, requiring as like little research, as little compiling, as little as we can get away with. So it seems like just the group of artists that we could kind of get away with doing this is Chicago artists.
And I think that this is a perfect time to release a podcast like this. Obviously, besides the external factors that are going on in our lives, I feel like this would be a light introduction into some of the things that we talk about, a breather after many Kendrick episodes, so that our listeners can have something easy to digest.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh. So.
And I'm tired. Me too. I'm tired.
I'm tired. Yeah, I'm tired of having to come with like annotations to like sociology textbooks to talk about like what this one bar.
I did research before the podcast.
Yeah. I'm tired of like getting my podcast ready for the same way I would a thesis.
It's funny because you say that, but like low-key, my mindset going into it may not be as much work, but I definitely be sitting here like, okay, where am I finna go with all this?
Yeah, that 100%.
But should we go down the list of names and then kind of go one by one?
Yeah, sure. So how many is it? Is it 8? Highlighting.
I think I left 8. I took out the obvious ones of Kanye, Chance, because
we've talked about them ad nauseum. So
yes, we are done.
They are not included.
But the rest.
So we want to go over the ones that like the big staples like in our come up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like the more obscure ones, this is going to be the obvious names. Like the more obscure ones, like, sorry, I'm sure we'll do like, we should definitely take some time and like put some more focus on local artists. That's something me and Purvis want to try doing as we evolve the content going further. But for right now, we're going to talk about Common. We're going to talk about Lupe. We're going to be talking about Chief Keef, No Name, Saba, Smino, Juice World, and Vic Mensa.
Yep. I feel like this is something. I would say these are the faces of Chicago right now, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
But like none of these are like. I didn't want to like come off as though I was portraying as like, oh, these are like the sleepers. Like, no, these are no names.
No,
Some of you guys should know who these people are.
I would almost call, like, if I had to give them a name, it's almost like they're like the vanguard. They're the people who represent Chicago, like out in the world, like out in the culture.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
right?
You know, I'm sure there are more. Like I could think of like Joey Perp, not Joey Perp. What was this guy's name?
I was about to say Lil Durk is
Lil
one
Durk.
that we left out.
Yeah.
Valet.
Valet.
Low key. Hold on, because this is about to. I think this is about to trip me out. Hold on. Freaking Polo G is from Chicago, bro.
Wait, is he really?
Yes.
Wow.
This is why I was like,
wow.
G Herbo is from Chicago too, so we forgot all these names. To be fair, we don't really listen to these people.
Yeah. Okay, so wow. Well, I know where to start. Like when I branch out.
Yeah, we might get some upset people.
Who cares?
Fair enough. I don't.
All right, so let's start with you. Let's start with you.
Okay.
We'll start with Mr. Common. What are your big takeaways on Common?
I was too young. I'm gonna be completely honest.
Yeah, this guy's before my time for sure.
Yeah, like obviously when it was coming out, didn't get to enjoy the impact. I know he is recognized as one of the legends. I've gone back and listened to the big ones. But I felt like that's something you needed to be there for.
Yeah,
in my personal opinion. Like I don't think I could enjoy it as much as like people that were there when it happened.
I definitely agree with that. I do think it is still enjoyable, right?
Yeah.
Like I think he's a talented guy, but yeah, I was 13 when B came out.
I don't even know how old Park was.
Yeah, like I was. Yeah, so, but I do think though, like when you think about the fact that like Common was kind of like. He was the guy I feel like started this whole movement out of Chicago, like combining the more soul music with hip hop, because he really set the stage for Kanye, who took it to the whole other level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting is like I kind of just know Common from like around the city to a certain degree.
Yeah,
like just like knowing like all the foundations he's a part of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what you mean. That had slipped my grasp. I know he's like, obviously he's considered a legend. Like the impact he has on Chicago cannot really be measured just because it's that great. I almost feel like he fits in the category, and I've had this discussion with one of my friends where like I hate to measure things in this like timeline, but I always think of like after our generation was born, there's like a pre-Kanye 808s and then like a post-Kanye 808s. And like everything just kind of lines up within those two groups. Like I would put him back with the same people with like Jay-Z, that entire like time span. So like that whole period I kind of like fell off of.
Yeah. No, definitely. I think that's a really, really interesting pivot to the next artist. Because where do you put Lupe on that? Because to me,
right in the middle of everything,
he is like right on that cusp. Because his sound it sounds a lot more pre-808s. Like it's very like soul samples, big horns. At least like the earlier stuff that was coming out at the time. It definitely seemed to be in that tradition of like the College Dropout trilogy and Common and everything. But yeah, I mean that is true. Like there was a sea change with 808s and Heartbreaks,
like
just across
everything.
and just across the music industry,
right?
Not specifically in Chicago. Like
Mm.
across all of hip hop, there was that was the going out of the tide.
Which is just insane when you think about it.
Yeah,
But
but was Lupe before your time too?
it's like on the cusp for me personally. I think we've briefly talked about Lupe on one of the other episodes, but like
Yeah,
Lupe Fiasco was my brother's artist. Like that
yeah,
was my brother's 8 years older than me. That was his time period. Like him, my cousins, close friends, and all of them. I would like get in the red Nissan back in the day, and they would be bumping Kick Push, and like
yeah.
it jammed, but I didn't get to like really understand it until a little bit after.
All right, that's interesting. That's
But I
interesting.
went back and it's good.
Yeah, yeah. I think like Lupe definitely feels like he would be a lot more approachable to people who came in. For people who got into hip hop, whether that be because of their interest or because of their age, people who did get into hip hop like after 808s and Heartbreak, like Lupe is someone who kind of has like that pre 808s sound. I feel like he'd be the most approachable.
Yeah,
You know,
I agree.
but man, this guy has to be an all timer for me. Like,
I
the,
know he's made a huge impact on you
yeah,
because
he
you
was.
were going through it.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he was one of the first. He might not have been the first that really affected me personally. I think that was definitely Kid Cudi. But
I literally, that is insane. That is insane. Because my
well,
next question was literally about to be, was this your pre-Kid Cudi?
yeah, but basically it was right. Like I saw
Wow.
people around me having the relationship I have to Kid Cudi to Lupe Fiasco, right?
Okay.
You
That
know,
was perfect.
and like once again, like and it kind of this is one of those things where it was like I can't believe these two things came out at the same time or
Mm-hmm.
like so close together. But like Man on the Moon and uh, what was it? And The Cool are only separated
Okay.
by are less than 2 years,
There you
right?
go.
And I like heard The Cool and Food and Liquor when they came out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I you know, there was no escaping it. Uh, among the people I knew. So especially because he's just like, you know, most of these folks are from like the South Side because like the South Side is like real Chicago, but
Shut up.
Lupe's from the West Side, so like
Yeah, yeah,
he's over by us. So like I remember, you know,
yeah.
I was working at the movie theater across the street from the Best Buy we worked at, like in 2007, and yeah, like everyone was listening to him, like it was everywhere, and he was like the first. It was like this idea that music wasn't happening like in a lab somewhere, or like albums weren't like fully formed out of the desert. You know, this idea that like, oh, these are artists, these are real people who live among us, and they have the same experiences, but they're the ones who can turn those experiences into art. Like Lupe was like kind of like the artist that helped me grasp that.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's very interesting.
yeah. Do you have a favorite track? We didn't do this for Common, but it kind of seems like necessary that we kind of
Yeah,
switch up.
but that's fine.
Yeah,
Um,
because we're much more talking
my
about the
favorite track.
cultural impact.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, just because we were much more talking about the cultural impact of Common
Oh, right. Yeah,
rather
yeah.
than like his actual music.
Can I give you like, I don't know, three?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, that's hard. Daydreaming.
Yeah, that's my all time favorite Lupe song, Daydreaming.
Yeah, Daydreaming's up there. Kick Push, obviously.
Okay, I really like that song, but not gonna, wouldn't be like in the three I recommend.
Uh, damn, Brandon, this is hard. Just because I think it's a sleeper. I don't know if it's that big, but Little Weapon to me is one of my favorite Lupe
Ooh,
songs. One of my favorite Lupe songs.
ooh, I like that.
I'm gonna go with those three. That's very hard, and that's not my final answers,
Yeah.
but those three pop out right out the like right away.
Wow. No, that's good. I respect the shit out of that. I
Do you have a three?
well, I was gonna say Daydreaming. But the other one
Okay.
I'll mention from Food and Liquor is definitely the instrumental.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The other one I'm gonna mention is Hip Hop Saved My Life.
Big one.
Yeah, dude,
Yep.
I saw that. I saw him perform that live while it was raining last year, and I was,
That's pretty sick.
dude. It was raining, so and I was so grateful because people couldn't see my tears. It was so great. And then I'm gonna go with like a new-ish Lupe song. It's from like 2012.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Bitch Bad.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
I rock with that.
yeah, it's real fun. And I've actually
Okay.
recently been listening to a lot more of his like Tietsu and Youth, Drogas Light, and Drogas Wave, and all like his new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like it doesn't have the accessible fun of his early stuff, but it's good.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
All right, now
I
let's talk
like that.
about probably
Good
the
idea.
exact opposite of Lupe.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
What a shift.
the exact opposite.
Um,
We're talking about Mr. Chief Keef.
well,
And
you go first this time.
you know what? I actually do want to go first because
Okay.
I think like one of the main things that I remember about Chief Keef was I remember hearing about him like right around the same time as hearing he was kind of hitting the mainstream like right around like when I was starting to hear about Chance and Vic in like 2013.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember like the it, he almost became like a representation of everything people hated in hip hop. Like
Okay.
the or the worst impulses of hip hop, which I think was unfair because I think his style was just like very stripped back, and I feel like a lot of people put their anxiety about the crime in Chicago at his feet in a very unfair way. Uh, but man, this guy changed the culture, like probably more than anyone else on this list.
I would say not even Chicago culture,
Yeah,
like
the whole thing.
just everything, the whole thing.
Now you were younger,
Um,
so like, what was your reaction
right.
to?
That's what I was gonna say because I mean it's not gonna be hidden to any of the listeners that we have right now because everyone knows I grew up in River Forest. But for those who don't know, I grew up in a very white neighborhood who nobody listened to Chief Keef. My brother wasn't as obviously a fan, I would say. I
Yeah,
won't say like he wasn't a fan,
yeah,
but like there was always a barrier between my brother and I because he's 8 years older. So he actually grew up in experienced CPS schools and I didn't.
yeah.
So as a very whitewashed version, like to me, I didn't know anything about Chief Keef, and I thought this is what like being in Chicago was like. Like
That's
it
hilarious.
was the image exactly.
Yeah,
And it's funny that you say like, oh, like the violence was pinned on him or something like that. But like for someone who's outside of the specific group or industry that he's in, like that's how you would look at it. It's just like, who is this? And it
yeah,
like almost seems like it promotes violence.
yeah. Yeah, it's definitely something that happened. And something I thought was definitely interesting was, me and my friends are super duper into hip hop around this time, but even us, like people were who liked artists like Waka Flocka Flame, were like even like resisting the urge to like Chief
Yep.
Keef because he was viewed as not only like he was viewed as bad like by everyone, and I think a lot of people kind of viewed him as bad for hip hop.
It's very interesting that you said that he came off as bad for hip hop, and then you also included right before that the comparison to Waka Flocka because I feel like Waka Flocka was the same energy, but like
Yeah,
it came off in a better like image.
yeah, it didn't because I
It
don't
came off
think
almost like a party.
yeah, because I don't think people tried so viciously to tie Waka Flocka to like a legitimate social issue. Like the violence in Chicago is a legitimate social issue, and
Okay.
which is why like I think the people who tried to say that music in general, let alone sure if you're picking, I don't think music if effect makes people more violent at all. 0%. There is zero scientific evidence to prove it up. It's been tested over and over again for the last 100 years. It's not real, right? So that's just what I believe. Sure, if music did cause people to be violent, I'm sure Chief Keef would probably be the worst of it. But that's just not real.
Yeah.
So like
I follow.
so I just kind of saw it as very unfair. Like looking back on it. And yeah, sure, probably not my exact cup of tea. Like I probably joke a lot more about listening to Chief Keef than I actually listen to Chief Keef. But like I hope like he's someone I'm eager to do like a cultural re-examination of.
Okay. I mean, the way I walked away from understanding Chief Keef, I would say, is like, even though I personally didn't listen to it, and you might say like, oh, he promotes violence, or it kind of comes off that way. He was one of the few artists that, by the time I did come around to him, because I get to have a better understanding of him and his music, like he was very well praised, like by Chicago, in terms of like people who did follow within this kind of like grittier music, not grittier music, that's such a bad word, but music that aligns with the drill music that we just said we don't listen to. It would be the Polo G, the G Herbo, whatever, Little Dirk, like all those people that we don't really listen to. The same fans of those people like would die for Chief Keef.
Yeah.
So it's almost like he was represented as at least a good light or signal for those individuals that like, oh, you're also in like this area with us, like you're a part of us.
Yeah. So do you have top 3 songs for this guy? There's one, and if you
Actually,
take it from me, I'm gonna go first this time, so you don't take my song.
okay, just go,
Okay, so I'm gonna put, dude, "Hate Being Sober" is one
I
of the,
hate you,
dude. It
but
is
that's fine.
the greatest song ever written. Uh,
It is amazing.
I'm gonna go with him on a feature because, like, I think another thing we should probably start doing is you gotta like understand that sometimes people's biggest contact point with an artist is features. Exhibit
Uh,
A, Common. Like that's how I know him mostly.
mhm.
You know. So I'm going with "Hold My Liquor."
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, you know how I feel about that song.
dude, that song's
That's
perfect.
one of my like favorite songs.
Dude, I remember like when that song came out, and then the next like 6 months later, it was very cold in October. Just saying. And last one, kind of like probably one I don't think many people know. I actually wouldn't be shocked if you didn't know this one. But the song "Nobody,"
Okay.
yeah, it's on his album "Nobody." It features Kanye, and it uses the same sample as fuck. One of the songs on Acid Rap.
Wait. Back up. Now I'm getting lost. Because as soon as you said that, that's something I should recognize.
Yeah, yeah. What song was it on Acid Rap? If I see it, I'll know it. Give me 1 second. Lost with no name.
Okay.
Yeah, Lost with no name. That song uses the same sample as Nobody.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm piecing everything together now.
Yeah. Huh. So,
Um. Okay. I'll do mine real quick. I don't like that you took Hate Being Sober.
don't give a shit.
Um. I think I'm gonna do. I don't like the remix with everyone in it.
Oh my god, so good.
So good.
Dude, don't
So
like.
good. Um, there's a lot of really hard bars in that song from everybody. That'll be my first one. The second one
Jean
is
jacket with the
featuring Soldier Boy,
sleeves cut.
bruh. I'm telling you.
I've
Um,
wanted to get a jean jacket and cut the sleeves off for so long because of that song.
you can still do it. It's not too late. But
I might.
that's the first one. The second one features Soldier Boy. Save that shit. Such a good song.
Yeah.
Such a good song. Soldier Boy's part is trash, but the song's amazing. And then the last one, you might laugh. I don't even know if you recognize it. I'm looking for it right now between his 20,000 albums that he has posted.
Yeah, he's like Little B.
But Going Home on Thoughtbreaker, the album Thoughtbreaker, the song Going Home, song bangs like hard.
Oh,
It is actually
interesting.
so good. It's one of the few like low key Chief Key songs that I've been put on.
Interesting. Hmm. All right. Now,
Another big shift.
another huge shift. Huge shift. But then
Even bigger, I would do
I think it kind of stabilizes going here and out. Uh,
Okay, it does stabilize. Yeah,
yeah.
after this.
But now we're going to talk about No Name.
Okay.
So, what do you think about No Name?
No Name came from literally nowhere for me. I didn't really know who she was. I think I found her as a feature on one of Chance's projects. Um, by the time I did find her, unfortunately, it was on Twitter. And I don't know if you follow No Name, but as someone as myself who doesn't really like politics that much, she is very strongly political.
Yeah,
And
she's
that's
a
how I found her.
yeah. No, she is. So I've
But when I got to the music, it's amazing.
nah, and look, I can get it, and I don't know, man. Like just as the more books I read, the more reasonable No Name seems.
Okay.
So I like the work she does. I think she's doing a lot of very radical work, giving education to people, doing very like real on the ground work that's actually going to result in like systemic change. I think she's fantastic on that end. And yeah,
Hmm.
I think her music's great. It doesn't, it's not something I listen to like on repeat all the time. Room 25 is was probably one of my favorite projects of 2018.
Okay.
It was, and that's the thing for No Name is that like I don't really have like song recommendations because I listen to her like almost exclusively in the album format.
Or you like, okay, just
Yeah,
you play the whole album,
I
not the
listen to the
actual song.
whole thing.
That makes sense. I have no complaints with that. I was gonna say there is a couple of songs that stand out. Obviously the feature that I mentioned that I found her on the song of Loss with Chance the
Yeah,
Rapper. She also created a mini group between Saba, Smino, and herself, which are two other names that we'll discuss.
yeah,
Hold on, give me a second, because they like actually made a group and they released one single song,
yeah.
and
Whenever
it's
you get like a group that's too good to be true, that's what happened.
that is fair. I just found it. It's literally called Ghetto Sage.
Yeah,
Um,
great name.
Amazing name, especially for the three people in it. Their song Haagen Dazs is so good. It
Yeah,
is so good.
yeah, it is.
But I guess that could be since we don't have to do
Yeah,
songs for her, we can transition that we just mentioned the two other
yeah.
names.
Well, this one song I'll recommend is Montego Bay with Raven Lene.
Okay.
Great song, and I'm a huge fan of Raven Lene. I actually got to meet her at a small show she did at Emporium in like 2015.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so she put
Okay.
on this fucking incredible show, and then she just played games with a bunch of people, and we chatted for a little bit, and she was super fucking cool.
Wow, that is extremely dope.
Yeah, so yeah,
Love that.
yeah, so
Okay.
absolutely great. But yeah, so let's move on. Do we want to do Staba or Smino next?
Let's do Saba first.
Absolutely. So Saba, boy, I love Saba.
Saba was my Lupe. I'll say it. I'll
Yeah,
say it.
I
Saba was my Lupe.
you know what? Like that I like that. I like that comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Uh cuz it's just like it's so easy, breezy, stylish, but still substantive. Like
Mm-hmm.
Saba is like
Flow
the
smooth.
exact like the if sometimes it feels like there's this idea that there's tension between like making something that's like fun and easy to listen to and like making something that has something to say. But like whenever you hear a Saba song, like, you realize that that's not real.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I follow that. I definitely follow that.
Yeah,
I don't know. Whenever I listen to Saba, like I literally just feel like Chicago. It's one of the few
yeah.
albums that like where it's from, what it stands for, the community that like literally generated this album. It takes a community to raise someone up. It feels Chicago to me.
Yeah.
Like all of his music.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like it incorporates that soul and blues sound so well.
Hmm.
But I'm ashamed to admit that like the first time I was like, "Who's this Saba guy?" was on Angels.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. I
yeah.
can see that.
Got to be honest, that was the first time where I was like, and he's on acid rap and everything. But that was the first time. What are the
Go
songs
ahead.
that you would recommend?
Okay. Um, I will do photosynthesis.
That's a great one.
That's like one of the biggest ones in my opinion. I'll also do Stony
Ooh,
from the same album. Really good. And then, and bear with me, I haven't listened to the newest album, and I apologize. So I will not be recommending any of those songs just because I don't know. But from Care for Me, I would do the song Prom King. I think it's his best narrative story he ever delivers in
that
any song he's had.
that's a really good one. Also, fun fact: my one of my best friends in the whole wide world went to high school. Was literally at the same prom as Saba.
That is amazing.
Yeah, he went to St. Joe's. You know, you mentioned all the great ones, the ones I will recommend because I listened to Care for Me, but I bounced off it a little bit. But
Okay.
I've really been listening to the most recent one, Few Good Things, the most.
Hmm.
And I'll just recommend Come My Way. Like if you want like one song that just like breaks down the Saba vibe,
Okay.
this is the one that that's gonna be best for you.
Okay. Bet.
Yeah.
I like that. I
All
like
right.
that a lot.
Yeah. Now let's get to Smino. Someone who I admittedly know. I do know Smino, obviously, but not as much as I know Saba. So,
Bro.
because like I listened to Noir,
Okay. Did you
like
like it?
yeah, yeah. I haven't listened to it in a while. It's one of the albums that like when you switch music streaming sites, I forgot to like save in my new library. So I'm just like
Hmm.
seeing that now, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna be listening to that again. But like I remember listening to it pretty consistently. Like the first few years it came, like the first year or two it was out.
I think it Noir is a really good album. The first one before that,
Black Swan.
um, Black Swan. I think no, I'm just gonna say it. I know Black Swan is a classic. I would highly recommend going back, listen to Black Swan. Smino gets my highest praise, honestly.
Oh,
I think like I'm not even playing. I don't know if I've ever talked to you about Smino or like bragged about him or nothing like
I
that,
can't
but
believe we haven't. No, we haven't.
like Smino's flow is I honestly would say top five flows of any artist that
Yeah.
I've ever heard. Smino is so smooth with like the lyrics and how he puts everything together, the way it like perfectly flows with the music. Smino is the ultimate like just vibe artist that just kick back and it's amazing. And like his voice itself, when I think of like how Kanye implemented his voice as to be an instrument, that's almost how like I look at his lyrics and his voice is like another instrument in the song. It is that smooth in my opinion.
Uh, damn.
No, I like Smino like a lot.
All right. Well, I can't even add to that. Let's get going so I can listen to this album tonight. Because I'll listen to Black Swan tonight. It doesn't appear to be too long. I just saved it to my library.
It's not. I highly recommend.
I remember I really liked the song Netflix and Dusty. I remember really liking that one. But
Hmm.
all right. Cool, cool, cool. Now these last two are probably the ones we're probably going to talk about the most.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And then
Me,
we'll
the first one, you, the
yeah,
second one.
definitely. and then we'll do our Rex. We'll wrap up. Purvis,
But
tell me about Juice World, because you're the Juice World guy. You were. I watched it happen.
yeah, I was pretty heavy into Juice World. Which sounds very down bad, sad boy, but I don't care. He is blew up to be one of the biggest names in the industry.
Yeah.
I it's very sad that he is gone with, and he had a lot more talent. I feel
Oh
like
yeah. He had nowhere
he
to go
only
but up.
had, yeah, literally nowhere to go but up. The talent was untouched, in my opinion. I think the first album, The Goodbye and Good Riddance, in my opinion, should be a classic. I don't know if it is. If it was up to me, I would say yes, but I can understand a counter argument that would like strongly push it towards a no. Um, I first found Juice World when I was going through therapy for my knee. Um,
I remember.
like I
Yep. Yeah.
yeah, I love all of his music going forward until he passed away. Which was not that long afterwards. Like we said, unfortunately, he didn't have that long of a career.
Yeah.
I don't like a lot of the music after. But besides that, like I was very heavy into Juice WRLD. Like I knew all the leaks that were coming out, like very hard follow.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. So I think the first thing I just need to ask is, when you say you don't like the the music that came out after he died, did you mean you just like on a pure like enjoying the music level didn't really enjoy it, or were you
Um,
or were you like kind of turned off by like the plundering of?
I would I would say it was a mixture between the two. I think the it's so hard to say because a lot of the albums that I've realized this more recently, a lot of the like not so obvious albums that I personally call classics are very bone, like they're very broken down. Goodbye and Good Riddance is a very simple album.
Yeah.
Nav is a very simple album. Acid Rap constructurally is a very simple. He literally get beats off of like
Wait,
local
which
people in
Nav
Chicago.
album are we talking
Like, these are
about?
the self-directed one, the first one, not self-directed, the self-named one.
Oh my god.
Just Nav. And so I know you don't compare that one compared to the other albums I just named, but like a lot of the classics I like personally like are very broken down and simple.
That's like calling
Um,
Ant-Man 2 a classic.
Shut up. Shut up. Um, so like I like the first one, obviously. And so since then, like it's not bad music, it's just not what I had fell in love with when I found the artist. I recognize that it's good music. I recognize it's not exactly the same taste in
Yeah.
some of the songs. And also, this is after like seeing XXX Tentacion's estate abuse him
Yeah.
and his death. And so any other music that I listen to besides Mac Miller that are post humorous is just it's not as good in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, like Mac Miller is that, that Mac Miller posthumous album was very much like that
It
was
was
his
basically
that was his
right.
wishes. That was basically
Exactly.
almost done, and like it was at the point
It
where
was meant to be
it would have been it would have been very clearly disrespectful not to do it. Uh,
exactly. Like it was meant to come out swimming in circles.
and that is how I felt about Legends Never Die, because that came out I think like 6-ish months after he died.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, okay, this one feels like it was just like you needed to put out his unreleased out. Like you needed to finish this, right? Like
Okay.
this is a 30-song album. He died 6 months ago. This has clearly been in the works for a long time. It was like his first major album. And I remember I love that album, Legends Never Die. And I've gone back. I really like Goodbye and Good Riddance. And I need to give Death Race for Love another listen to, because I remember liking it, but I feel like I feel like I need to reevaluate.
What I would highly recommend if you haven't done it, and this is also for the listeners, if you want like Juice World quality music that you may have missed, like the quality before he passed away, the collab album with Future, and I know you may not like Future, the collab album with Future is one of my favorite albums. I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm just gonna say it. I think it's one of his better albums.
Yeah.
A lot of the lyrics are amazing on this. So it'll be something kind of refreshing if you want to hear more Juice WRLD that you could probably missed, if I'm being honest.
Interesting. Yeah, no,
You
that's
want to do
definitely.
3 songs?
Yeah, I'll do 3 songs.
Okay.
Let me have lucid dreams because I don't know them as well as you do. Like,
Fine. That's fine.
yeah, so I'm definitely gonna lucid dreams. It's his most popular song for a reason. Oh, another thing is that like the thing that was interesting about Juice WRLD was that he wasn't even when he was alive, even before he passed, he wasn't someone who was confined to the very SoundCloud environment in which he was created.
Mm.
Right? Like everyone from Eminem to Lil Wayne, all of them were talking like, "Oh my God, Juice WRLD's fantastic." Juice WRLD's, the next one.
Mm-hmm.
So
He was.
yes,
He was.
yeah, he really was, which is why his death hurt so much. And that was something that really resonated with me about Juice WRLD. Was just like how, even before there was a tragedy to bring everyone together, he kind of did already.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say the song "Come and Go."
Okay.
Which
with Marshmello.
Yeah, with Marshmello. And you know what? This is kind of an interesting one because it's like, what's interesting to me is let me get this for sure. Yeah, it was July. So I remember this song came out like during the protest movement in 2020, and I know this song has no political like angle to it, but because it came out at that time, like I feel like I just imprinted like my feelings about that movement onto that song.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the other one I'll do is I want to recommend the Eminem song featuring Juice WRLD.
Oh, really? Okay.
No, it's fantastic. Godzilla.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember that.
It's the only great song on that album, which is still one of the better Eminem albums in the last decade. But no, the song with Juice WRLD is just fantastic. I'm sorry, but like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
You didn't say anything wrong.
Yeah.
I fully agree.
Yeah, there's no argument there.
Okay. But what I will do then, I will say the song "Realer and Realer." That is the one that is on the project with Future that I was talking about.
Sick.
That will be one of them. Armed and Dangerous will be the second one. And then the third one, hold on, I'm trying to look for the title. It's he's featured on come on now. It's with Trippie Redd. Now I'm blanking out on the title. Okay. The third one would be the song off of Trippie Redd's album, the 1400/999 freestyle. It's like known to be one of his better songs. He did phenomenal on that song.
Excellent.
So I will go with those three. And then breaking down the last one, I feel like you are much bigger on Vic Mensa than I am.
Yeah, I am. So it's interesting because like I knew about Vic Mensa before I knew about Chance the Rapper,
which is insane to me.
So what happened was back in the day, Jeff, he was the biggest Lil Wayne fan you'd ever imagine, right? And Lil Wayne had like a music contest. It was like this huge music contest with some soda. I don't know if it was Sprite or Mountain Dew, but some soda. All these artists would submit demos, and the only one of them got like a professionally mixed and mastered like album out of it. And the artist that won was a band called Kids These Days that featured Vic Mensa in. And to this day, it's one of my favorite projects ever. It breaks my heart that I can't find it on Tidal. Wait, it's there.
Really?
Oh my God. Wait, is it?
That's pretty big. Yeah, I'm surprised.
Oh,
I'm very surprised. Well, there you go.
Yeah. So, it was a 5-song project. And from there, like Vic Mensa, like he's a member of the band, so he's not like named on it. But like if you listen to it,
Hmm.
it's like very clear, like oh, this is Vic Mensa who's on this. Uh,
Okay.
so like when he started releasing song under when they broke up, and he started releasing music under his own name, I was on it immediately because I was so in love with that project.
Okay.
Uh, and yeah, and he is, you know, he's very similar to Chance. You know, they both went to the school in the South Loop. You know, the one I used to share my old apartment building, shared a wall with. And ever since he released his first tape, In a Tape, I rooted for the guy. Because, like, In a Tape was. It kind of had a similar vibe to Acid Rap, and it came out after Acid Rap, which is never a great look.
Yeah.
But in terms of just, like, actual songwriting quality, it is absolutely on par uh, with Acid Rap in that degree.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
and
literally gonna have to. I've never heard of it.
Orange Soda, one of the songs I recommended, I think like a week or two ago, is on it.
Hmm.
It's light and breezy. It's not as heavy as some of his later music has gotten. I do kind of wish he would do more of the In a Tape stuff. But last year I got to see him do most of In a Tape live, so that was pretty sick. And yeah, you know, he's constant.
Last year.
Yeah, last year I saw him at Riot Fest last year.
Okay.
Yeah, and he just has released hit after hit after hit, and man, like I just like it. Like he has been very consistent for, except
I
for
was
that,
actually.
except for that punk rock band he tried to start. That wasn't good. Don't do that.
That's literally what I was about to ask because I feel like I didn't have as strong as a connection with him because of like the clear rock influence that was attached to him. Just
Yeah,
because I didn't really listen to rock, um, and that's I think what turned me off. I did go back and listen to There's a Lot. I went back and listened to the biography. I think those are only two like full projects I sat down and listened to.
the autobiography is his best one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Then I've experienced some of his better music. I won't say like the best as though like I'm gonna limit him, but I've experienced some of his better music and like there's a couple of songs I do like, but I just feel like you said, it's him and Chance and like I'm very clear Chance.
yeah, definitely. I just feel like one. I feel like especially early in their career, I feel like Vic was always the better rapper.
Okay.
And yeah, it's as simple as that. But I think the other thing we can all agree on is I think Vic and Chance definitely work the best together because they have like such similar and such different vibes all at the same time.
It perfectly just fits together.
You know, the other thing is that you can definitely see how Vic, you know, he kind of lets his wilder ideas get a hold of him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, putting out stuff like that '93 Punk album, which once again, not good, Chance or Vic, whatever.
Don't do it anymore.
But you know, full stop. Like, I don't think there's any debate over who has the best debut album between him and Chance.
Right. That is very true.
You know, like, and if you haven't heard the autobiography, listener, fix that. Fix that shit right now. Right now.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Nevertheless.
I do have to say, Vic did one of the coolest things I've ever seen a rapper do, which is he has like
So
his biggest single is "You Mad," which I'm sure you've heard that song.
that was gonna be one of the recommended songs.
Yeah, you could have that one. Uh, at Riot Fest last year when he did "You Mad," he did like an updated verse.
Okay.
He did like a verse calling out like Lori Lightfoot and like
Perfect.
and doing like all the post pandemic shit and like so I thought that was like some of the coolest shit ever. Was like, oh my god, like
Yeah, I definitely like that.
yeah. But yeah, you recommend your song.
Like I said, the first one would be "You Mad." I think that's pretty obvious, and of course, I found that through Kanye. The second one would be "Liquor Locker." I think that's one of his best songs. And then the third one I was gonna do, I just saw it. Oh my God! featuring Pusha T.
That was gonna be one of the
Um,
ones I recommended. You goof.
yep, those are the ones I would go with.
Yeah, that's a great one. All right.
Sorry, I still.
No, it's fine. I got a bunch I could recommend. So one I would probably recommend. Oh, Dark Things. I love the song Dark Things. I'm probably the
Okay.
only person who does, but it's a great song. Come at me, dude. I don't care. I would also recommend the song Rage. It is
Okay.
halfway between like a Playboy Cardi song and like spoken word.
I'm already here for it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And then the last one, I'm gonna go with one of his newer songs. It was oh, I'm gonna do "Dirt on My Name" off of V Tape.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've heard that one.
yeah. But yeah, all in all, I think he's just like consistently great. He sounded fantastic on Wraith.
Mm-hmm.
So
Very excited.
yeah,
Very
he
excited.
is of the 8 we put out, he is probably my current favorite.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was a quick game of flashcards, ladies and gentlemen. Like, do you have your 3 recs for the end of the episode?
I do have my 3 recommendations.
Let's
You
run
want
it.
me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. One that I was listening to over this past week. It is a song featuring, or not featuring, the song that has The Alchemist and Schoolboy Q in it. It is literally, it's the acronyms of this phrase, but it's when are you gonna drop that new shit? Like, that's the actual song. It's WYG DTNS. I told you I've been going through that like heavy fate. I don't know what subcategory of hip hop this would be, but it is The Alchemist. It is, wow, now I'm blanking out on all the names that I had written down. But I had that hard face that included Bodie James, Benny the Butcher, West Side Gun, The Alchemist, Conway the Machine, and Freddie Gibbs. Like I think I told you maybe a couple
Jesus.
months ago, yeah, that I had just gotten to like that sub pocket of hip hop, and it is really really unique but really
Yeah.
good. So I've been listening to The Alchemist, and that came up as one of my saved songs. I forgot I saved it probably forever ago, and it's with Schoolboy Q. It is so good.
Wow. So what's super funny is I was kind of in a very one of my recommendations is in a very similar space.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna do that one yet because that was my interesting middle one. I'm gonna go with one that's gonna make
Okay.
you roll your eyes. Uh,
Okay.
the
Here-
song is "Odd Look," and it's a collaboration by Kavinsky and The Weeknd, and it sounds exactly like how you think it's gonna sound. It's a synth pop song with The Weeknd on it. Uh, what I do think is interesting is it's kind of like a forgotten single, right?
Okay.
Because it was a single to the first to Kavinsky's first EP, but the version of Odd Look that's on the EP does not have The Weeknd. It's more of a straight electro pop song.
Okay.
And then there's the Weeknd version, which sounds much more like a normal pop song, but like it's kind of interesting, like how they kind of how the way they mix the vocals and everything like makes it sound like such a completely different song. It is kind of wild.
Okay.
And the other thing is that like because it is from like 2013, like you can just hear like how rougher his voice is and how much better of a singer he's gotten.
Referring to the weekend.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So that's my first one.
Okay. My second one, and this is something I was literally listening to today. It is very rare that you'll catch me doing this, but like I was literally dancing in my room today. Like I was listening to the new Yeet song, well, not the new Yeet song, but the newer artist Yeet. The song is "Lying for Fun." There's a whole like middle section of the song that gets really trippy. Um, this song goes hard. Like I was doing the woo in my room, and I don't dance.
Wow. That's what you guys
Well,
gotta do.
you need to get into Yeet. I've said it before, but like it's the same. It's along the same lines that I had with like Playboy Cardi. It's just really hard vibes. It's
All
not even
right.
about the lyrics.
Okay. Okay. I'll listen to Yeet. I will.
All right, that's my second one.
All right. My second one is kind of a walk. All right. So I was listening to some producer albums because I kind of want like a collection of albums I can put on like while I'm doing something, like while I'm reading or like cleaning my apartment. Right. I listen to a lot of like instrumental music, and I just kind of wanted to expand that. Right. And
Okay.
one of the albums I was recommended was called Baker's Dozen by Derringer. Do you know who Derringer is?
I don't think so.
Derringer is the producer in Griselda. So he produces for West Side Gun, Conway the Machine, Benny the Butcher.
Okay.
Uh,
Perfect timing.
yeah. So he released not an instrumental album, but certainly a producer focused album called Baker's Dozen. And I'm picking the song Afet.
Which one?
It's called Afet, AFET.
Oh, I see it. I see it. Okay.
Yeah. It is. It is just
Saving
like
it.
moody. It's just very moody. It's
It's
everything.
exactly what I need.
Yeah, everything. Every song on the album makes you feel like you're in a black and white Spike Lee movie.
Perfect.
Nah.
That's exactly. That is perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, my last one. I actually I get so excited about this one. I think I sent you a text in the middle of the week. It was like, "How do you feel about this song?" This is an old song. I'll tell you how I found it. It's a dumb little backstory. But on TikTok, there's like this popular video that went famous of this guy talking to this cop who's basically saying like he told this girl that they were going to take a break and like she wants to go have sex with somebody else within 10 days. And like this guy's complaining to the cop. It's like this whole meme. It's just like, I would have had it locked up and all this other stuff. And in the background, it's like this old, smooth, like love song playing. It just starts off, it's like, oh. And I'm like, this song is really good. And I look it up. The song is I Miss You by Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes.
Oh.
Oh my God. Brandon, this song is so good. It is 8.5 minutes long, but it is like a full skit. I feel like you're like living in the 70s or 80s. It's amazing.
Wow. Yeah,
It is so
you sent it to me. It's a vibe.
it is so smooth.
It is. It is a full vibe. All right,
That's all.
my last one is actually possibly like one of the most famous hip hop songs, or it's one of them. But I kind of started listening to it this week after seeing that covers of the song are getting very, very popular on TikTok, or rather, covers of the sample from the song.
Mhm.
And that's Stan by Eminem.
Interesting.
And like,
I have not seen that.
have you ever even heard that song?
I don't know. I'm like actually
Do
questioning it.
Do you know what a stan is? Like when someone says like, "Oh, he's a stan,"
I believe so.
like an obsessive fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the song is a real life story about Eminem dealing with an offensive fan,
Huh.
and it is. Look, I feel like Eminem has like approached this point where he's like a very interesting person to dissect. You know, because at one point he was the highest selling rapper of all time, but even when he was that popular, even when he was respected, you know, he never really influenced hip hop the way a lot of other people as famous as him usually do. So I think like just like going into like all those nooks and crannies of his legacy, I think is really fascinating. But just going back and listening to this song where he tells like this very specific story is like jaw dropping. I would really,
Hmm.
really like. I want you. That's the song I want you to listen to, like right now, and tell me what you think of it.
Okay.
Because I
I,
really, because look, I don't think he has ever extended out his storytelling technique past a single song. But like, it's a Kendrick Lamar like level, like storytelling on a song.
really.
Yeah, 100%. The only difference is that like as good as the Marshall Mathers LP is, like it's just not as much of a story, a well told story as like a Kendrick Lamar album. Like it doesn't extend, you know.
Mm.
But just as like an individual song, it's probably one of the most gauche like hip hop recommendations of all time because like everyone, I feel like everyone knows the song, but if you don't, shit, maybe someone who's listening to this doesn't, and like I feel like you'll put it on and you'll be like, oh, it's this song.
That's literally what I was about to say. I haven't played it yet, but I went to Spotify and I searched up his profile, and it is the fourth most popular song. There's no shot that I don't know this song.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I don't listen to Eminem enough to be like, I know the exact beat to this song by looking at the name. Like,
nor should you. But
okay, that is fair. I mean, I can do it with other artists.
Yeah, but this song is something special. So,
Okay.
and if you've never taken the time, like as an adult, to like sit and reflect on like the subtleties and everything, I'm really curious specifically to see what you think about it. Like diving deep into it.
I mean, the expectations are already high given who it is and how you just talked about it. Because, like, specifically, at least what you said, the subject is about a stand.
Yeah.
Like, the only song that immediately came to my head, and I don't know if comparing these two songs would be considered disrespectful, so bear with me. But the only other song that came to mind is Colossus by Tyler, the Creator. The whole song is about this fan who's bothering him in the line when he's like getting ready to go on a roller coaster, and like it's a very realistic depiction of like what a fan would be like during that period of Tyler, the Creator's like career. So I don't know if that's disrespectful to compare it.
I would not say it is disrespectful at all.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would like the song.
But it's kind of, that is an incredibly interesting comparison. Because
that's all like I don't know.
Because the story of Stan is much less realistic, but it's real. Like it's something that actually happened. Like all of it.
Okay.
And it okay. Yeah. So that's all I'll say. It's like that's an interesting. I don't think that's a disrespectful comparison in the slightest.
I was going to say I love this song, Colossus. So.
Yeah, no, Colossus is a great song.
Negative.
But like this is about a different level. Like this is
much more serious tone.
Yeah, well, like there's a reason why like when fans harass people online, they're called stan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll leave it at that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. This was supposed to be much shorter. It's not much shorter, but it was breezy, so I'm not complaining.
I was going to say it felt shorter, which is good.
All right, guys. Well, we'll be back next week. Let us know. Follow us on socials. Hit us up. Tell us what you want us to think about because we're getting tired of thinking of all the subjects.
I was going to say, and don't think like we're not. We are 100% listening.
We are eager.
I went out and bought a new mic because somebody, like enough people were like, oh, your voice kind of sounds off. And I'm like, enough said. Yeah. I will go get a new mic.
All right. Well, join us next week to see Purvis's new mic.
Well, that's not good. I'm already using it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. Bye.